Not too long ago, I did a video about how I would never go ultralight and how it was almost impossible and super expensive to do that here in the Rockies in Canada. And like all backpacking YouTubers, I lied. So today I figured I'd go on an ultralight hike, show you what I left behind, the things that I swapped out, the things that I brought with me, and how it may have impacted my hike. I guess before we get too far along on this little journey, we should actually talk about what ultralight means. I think for myself, it means taking as much unnecessary weight out of what you're carrying without sacrificing any safety. So that you can go longer, farther, you can go for later in your life, and you can essentially reduce the strain on your body to make the hiking portion of backpacking more enjoyable. The internet and the YouTube ultralight scene in the world and the through hiking group have kind of determined that there's a number, and the number is typically around 10 pounds. Conceptually, I think you're considered ultralight as long as you've reduced as much weight out of your pack as you can and you're not sacrificing safety in any way. But as far as a metric, I think you're considered ultralight if you're under 10 pounds for your base weight. And that base weight means basically everything that you're carrying aside from consumables like food and fuel and water. First things first, the weigh-in with an empty fuel bottle and an empty water bottle. Tear that out. We are looking at 9.94 pounds. Oh, 9.68 pounds. Let's swap those out for a full water bottle and an actual full fuel container. Now we're looking at 12.2 pounds. There's one item that I had to leave off of my list in order to go below that 10-pound mark that I refused to not take with me. That's my bear spray. So I will consider this an ultralight trip plus bear spray. All right, so that's food. Well, I just popped the chips. This is a mistake I have made before. Okay, final weight. Food, water, fuel, all the things. I'm looking at 16.7 pounds. One of the things that I'm noticing, especially on this uphill, is that I miss my hip belt pockets. Not because they carry the weight, because my pack's quite light right now, but I feel like my shirt keeps riding up behind me where the hip belt holds that down a little. Nothing big, but something I noticed. In order to bring my weight down today, I took out one smart water bottle and I traded my 2-liter Hydro Pack flask for my Be Free for the original 1-liter flask for the Be Free. Normally, along a trail like this, that's not a problem. But because I went the wrong way around this loop, I don't actually know how much water there is between here and the top. Which means I'm carrying 1 liter less of water than I thought I would have been originally, because normally I carry 2 liters. But it also means I have less capacity to carry water. So I don't have 2 liters plus 2 liters. I have 1 liter plus 1 liter. So we'll see how this goes. I might be super thirsty by the time I hit the top. Now I know that on the way back down towards camp, there's lots of water. So I'm not worried about it for my health, just for my comfort. now that I've finished what I think is the hardest part of the hike, because I know the rest of the loop and I've been down it the other way, I'm noticing that even though I'm not carrying anything on my hip and the weight's not transferring the same way, that my legs feel okay, right? Like where they would be tired and knotted and having a hard time if I was carrying more weight, I'm feeling really fresh. I don't know if that's a matter of the weight or just my mind knowing that I'm done the hard part, but I feel good. I'm a little concerned with the amount of water. Not because I'm worried about being wet. We're gonna get wet. But it's gonna be standing water tonight. If the rain stops, the water's gonna stop moving. And that means while I'm at camp, there's gonna be possibly a lot of bugs. And in order to go lighter, one of the things that I left out on my pack was bug spray and sunscreen. So hopefully that is not the case tonight, that the water keeps moving. I'd pray for more rain and more wind to keep the bugs down, instead of a nice, beautiful, sunny night with standing water, because then the bugs are just gonna be horrible. I think I found the spot I want to camp at. This is, it's got a nice picnic table. One of the few places with a fire pit that's standing straight. If I back up a little bit more, there's some firewood that some people have left from previous stops here. There's a nice flat spot back in here. And there's also a nice creek running right here. I have just set up my tent, and I'm gonna have a quick snack here before I set up the rest. Maybe have my lunch too. It's like almost 1. I specifically picked this campground. It's decommissioned, but there's still picnic tables and seating. So that's one of the reasons I was able to leave 2 pieces of gear in the car. One of them was my sit pad, and one of them was my Helinox Chair Zero, because I know that there's seating here instead of having to sit on the ground or on a stump or something. The other thing that's very helpful is the backpack that I have, my Superior Wilderness Designs Long Haul 50. The foam pad on the back comes out, and you can use it as a sit pad. So even though this table's all kind of grimy and gross and it's hard, I still have a foam pad I can sit on, even though I didn't bring my seat or my sit pad. So I don't think I'll regret not bringing those on this trip. But if there was another trip where there was no seating, I would regret not having brought my chair for sure. Now that I've set up my bed and my tent and my air pad and all that stuff, this is about when I would change into my camp shoes, but I didn't bring any camp shoes. And it's when I would go collect firewood, but I didn't bring a saw. Those are 2 things I think that I don't know if I'll leave behind again. Even though it was a lot lighter today, I feel like having the saw available would give me a much better evening tonight. I've got lots of time. I think if I was going farther and didn't have as much time at camp, it would be different. Same with the shoes. Because my feet are soaked, I don't really have anything to take them out of the wet. I just have to kind of put up with the wet until I change into my socks for sleeping tonight. And I know that it's going to be wet again tomorrow. Took about 10 minutes longer than it takes to hang my sack, which I left to save weight. Was it worth 100 grams? Maybe, maybe not. Find out tomorrow. It is just about 4 o'clock and the sky has gone gray. Starting to spit a little, so I'm gonna go lay in bed. I'm gonna get some dry pants on, have a nap while it rains, and come back out for a fire later. Well, killing time in the tent because it's drizzling, and because I went ultralight for this trip, I didn't bring two things that would have come in real handy right now. The first one is my pillow. I would have really liked to be able to lay down and have a pillow for my nap. And the second one's my power bank. I wish I would have brought that, mainly because then I'd have juice to watch a show or something while I'm laying around killing time. Yeah. But those are two things I left in the car on purpose to shave weight. I am starting to run out of battery and I did not bring a map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time, short time, load the route out of here onto my Garmin Explorer app and then transfer it over to my Garmin InReach Mini so that I can get out of here if my phone dies. A couple other things that I traded down for weight were actually my insulation layer. This hoodie is enough for tonight because tonight's only going to get, I don't know, 7 degrees Celsius or something like that, according to the forecast anyway. And normally I would bring my synthetic 4-class or decathlon puffy, just because it's warmer and more comfortable. So I like having the zipper, I like having the pockets. This one doesn't have that, so I've traded down for weight, saved 100 grams or something like that on there. And the other thing was my Ditty bag, and I didn't think I would. I thought I would be upset about this, but I'm not. I've got everything I need in here still. It's just a Ziploc bag, and I usually carry like a fanny pack almost. Yeah, actually it is. It's the through pack from, it's the bum pack from through pack. And I usually carry that as my Ditty bag because it allows me, if I wanted to take off somewhere else and bring some snacks and the things that I need. I thought I would miss having that on me, but I don't. I think if I was base camping and doing some hikes, then I would want that. But I think this is going to be a permanent trade down, is to go with the Ziploc bag. Well, it's 8:30 and I'm going to bed. I got my alarm set for 2:45 so that I can check out the stars, go for a walk, and then go back to bed until whatever time I wake up. So, good night, world. Well, it's been raining off and on all night. And it's 6:30 in the morning. No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. But I had good sleep. And it is time to get up and pack up, I think. Because I didn't pack a bag for my tent, it's going to be interesting packing it into my pack wet. So, I'm not sure how that'll work. But I'll get everything into my dry bag first, and then I'll pack that up. Even though I was able to get as light as I was, I think there's still opportunity for me to get lighter. But in order to do that, I would probably have to spend a lot more money because the opportunities are in my big three. So my backpack, my tent, and my sleep system. And that's where the money is. So I think I'm comfortable with the weight that I have now because I'm broke. Dry feet? Never mind. Your feet won't be dry. There's just no way. At the beginning of this video, I said the Ultralight's all about going farther and faster and being easier on your body, and I think I actually had to experience that to truly accept it. I mean, I spent a few hours at camp last night bored out of my mind, so it would make sense to hike farther or spend less time at camp. And I woke up feeling rested and ready to go without being sore, so it would make sense that I can go farther. So I think Ultralight absolutely has a place, specifically for sure in the thru hiking community, where you're crushing miles all day and you're taking things as far as you can. where I'm at, 15, 20 kilometers a day. Lots of time at camp. I don't know. I think I'll have to take it trip by trip and decide what I want to bring when and go from there. Anyways, I did it. Went ultralight. And now I gotta go because my battery's dying and I got no power bank. So, if you're still watching this, my name is Nathan. This is Backpacker-ish. And like, comment, subscribe. Or don't, whatever.